Welcome back, everyone. It is Friday, November 29th in the NBA. Our four best bets are on the way. We're going to change of scenery as I'm at my parents' house, so the editing won't be as great as you might normally expect it. But either way, hopefully the picks are just as great, and we can hopefully dominate on this Friday slate. And I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We're going to dive into some NBA plays in just one moment. But as always, we need to recap how we did the day before. Technically, we didn't bet NBA yesterday because there were no games on Thursday. But back on Wednesday, a 3-5 day, not our best day overall. I mean, you look at our plays. We had some good reads, had some bad reads. Jared McCain was in there. He was one of the picks I would say was probably a bad read. He shot enough times, though, to get it done. Just could not get the shots falling for him. Some of our winners, though, we cashed our ladder challenge. So we're on to day 3. We skipped Thursday. Walker Kessler hit. Hartenstein hit. And there was just some bad plays. We added a Bam Adebayo play as well, which I'm out on the Heat. I don't know. I can't bet on that team anymore. Every prop I do for them just feels like it's just agonizing in defeat. And that's tough. But hey, sitting on the season right around 8.79 units. Hopefully we can have an even better day and improve that. I'll actually begin with the picks. We do have a video for Friday, Black Friday football, what the Raiders and Chiefs. Yesterday, our Thanksgiving Day picks. Don't even get me started. I'm going to have to rant on those tomorrow. But we'll save that. Day 3 of the ladder challenge will be posted later today. I don't know when I'm going to post it. Typically, it's like later afternoon. I feel like there's some picks and there's some games that start early. I don't think I'll touch the next game, which is a 12 p.m. Eastern time start. I might get in that Cavaliers and Hawks game, though. You guys know I like that Mobley 6+ rebounds in that matchup. I might get involved there. We'll see. Stay tuned. Obviously, check the pinned comment. If you follow us on any other social media platform, you'll definitely see it whenever we do the ladder. But let's dive into our regular plays. My first one's going to be a guy that I think makes his return today, and that's Cade Cunningham of the Pistons, over 22.5 points. Now, Cade has missed the last 3 games with like a hip, pelvis sort of injury. He's been doubtful the previous games. Now he's been upgraded to questionable. And you look at some of his other teammates, they also have lines. So when they're giving out lines for other guys, I feel like it's like a good indicator that, hey, we think Cade's going to play. And he hasn't missed any tournament games. So maybe they've been resting him a little bit here. They do play tomorrow, which is back at home against the Sixers. I mean, if you're going to say which game means a little bit more, maybe the Pacers won. But at the end of the day, I think he plays in one of these next 2 games. And I think it's tonight. Now, Cade, really the reason I'm here is he's dominated this matchup against the Indiana Pacers. I mean, this is a team that when you have stars, you have to score against them. In his last 5 games versus the Pacers, he has averaged 27 a game. He set this over in all 5 games. And the biggest thing, he's attempted 20 or more shots in every single game. So again, star players typically have to score against the Pacers because what do? They stay home on shooters, and they'll let you drive to the hoop as much as you want because they'll like to try to trade 3s versus 2s because they shoot a lot of 3s. But I just think this is a good spot for him. In 2 of those games, if we're like concerned about an injury limit, he has played actually 29 and 30 minutes in 2 of the games. So still got the job done, even in games where he didn't play a ton of minutes, which you could argue maybe he'd be on a minutes restriction back from injury, but I don't think he will be if that's the case. If he plays, he's going to play a good amount of minutes. And the real reason I like this is Cade's 3 primary ways of scoring. 37% as the pick and roll ball handler guy, 14% free throws, and 13% in isolation. I just gave about 65% of the ways he scores. The Pacers rank 25th, 26th, and 26th defensively versus those actions, respectively. I think he returns tonight. Even if he doesn't, I do think the Pistons have a really good chance of keeping that game close. Even if it's Jaden Ivey running the show, there's historically that Jaden Ivey and Benedict Mathurin beef, if you will. So if Cade doesn't play, expect Jaden Ivey to pick up the slack, and they obviously don't like each other. So I think Cade plays pretty well here, and I think this game's tight throughout. So I'll take Cade Cunningham, my first pick, over in points. I don't really like the assists or the rebounds. Just give me the points for Cade, and let's hope he suits up tonight. My second picks, well, technically third if you count the ladder challenge, which we play for 1 unit, is going to be Isaiah Hartenstein's over in rebounds at 10.5. They bumped it up. We took the 10 plus over 9.5 at plus money in his last game, and yeah, even despite foul trouble, he still came through, which was great to see. I think he once again comes through tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, it's not as great of a matchup as it was against the Warriors, who are a team that gives up some of the most rebounds per game, but right behind them is the Lakers. The Lakers are a team that, since the start of this season, they're giving up the 3rd most rebounds to opposing centers. I mean, we've seen some guys absolutely torch them. We're talking guys like Goga Badatse. He just had 15 rebounds against them. Yusuf Nurkic, who doesn't even play really as many minutes as Hartenstein, he had 12. Jokic 13. I think it's a tight game against the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think this is a good spot for him. We've seen in his 3 games so far. Let's keep in mind, one of them he came off the bench, still had 14 rebounds. Then he had 10, and then he had 14 in another one. In those games, 21, 15, and 27 rebound chances. Now, there is some foul trouble concerns. He's guarding Anthony Davis, but I don't see them letting him go one-on-one on AD. Just be like, hey, Hartenstein, have fun, man. We're going to live with it. It's not really how they've defended anyone really all season long. It's normally, hey, you get the ball in the post. We're going to send some guys at your way and make you knock down some three-pointers. And honestly, I'd continue to do that for a Lakers team that, sure, knock down the threes, and then we'll change our defensive plan. The only guy you're really scared of shooting threes is probably Dalton Connect, which I did look at his over in points. Reeves maybe too, but Rui, LeBron, those guys, even the guys off the bench, I'd probably live with them making threes until you have to make a defensive change. So I don't see the foul trouble coming, but I do see him being needed for size here. So we think about what is Hartenstein's job. It's to play defense and grab boards. It's literally all he's in there to do for a Thunder team that really does struggle on, especially grabbing rebounds. They've struggled all last year. They brought him back in, but again, he's one of their only center. He is their only center currently active and healthy. I think he once again goes out there and respects our money, grabs 11 boards. You could look at the double-double. I just, as a Knicks fan, I don't like trusting Hartenstein to score. He is like Draymond Green. He gets the offensive rebound. He does not look to score. He looks to pass it out to some of the shooters. And once again, I could see him trying to do that here today. He could still score, and you can take the double-double. It's going to be good plus money. I just rather not trust Hartenstein to get 10 plus rebound or 10 plus points. So I'll just take the rebounds. I think that is a winner. I'll talk about a couple props in a second, but I do have Logan here with me. He's actually joined live. He's been listening to me yap for the last 7.5 minutes. He's got a play, and like I said, I really like this play. We both collaborated on it. I think it's a winner today. He's bouncing back. Logan, what do you got for the people today?
Yeah, so obviously we know we've hit a little stretch of ice in the spread pick department, but that's okay. We trudged through, and we're changing it up a little bit. I'm taking the Pistons plus 3.5. First half spread minus 115 odds on FanDuel is currently your best value there. Now, this is a first half spread. Again, if the Pistons go on to get blown out, we don't really care. But they're fresh off of 131 to 111 blowout loss to the Grizzlies. That just a terrible loss for them. I think just on paper, this is a motivation spot because obviously, when you get blown out like that, you normally play a little bit harder the next game. And the Indiana Pacers are only 6-13 against the spread in the first half, so they're not notoriously a great first half spread team. Hopefully, that can go in our advantage. When these two teams played earlier, the Pistons led by 9 at the half before collapsing in the second half. And that whole collapsing in the second half feels like the trend of a lot of my picks lately. I mean, my picks, they look good for about 2 quarters, maybe even 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter comes and then the wheels absolutely fall off. I like the Pistons in the first half spread a lot. As Austin said, we kind of co-signed this one. We got in the lab. We really decided, hey, what's going to be a winner today? And the Pistons pride themselves on defense too. I think they're just the sharper defensive team. Obviously, in their last outing, they weren't, but they're 13th in defensive rating compared to Indiana, just 23rd in defensive rating. So better defensive team, a little bit hungrier team. I think the Pistons get it done in the first half for us, Austin.
Yeah, and like I said, I really like the pick today. Going to that first half spread, we're undefeated on first half spreads if you want to count it. We did one with the Celtics earlier this season, but I'm a big fan of the Pistons head coach JB Bickerstaff. He is a guy that we know from the Cavaliers days, prides themselves on the defensive end. And even though we did cash day 2 of the ladder challenge with Malik Beasley, he was a part of the problem. He's got benched. He was actually benched in the second quarter due to his defense. Luckily, he came through, scored 10 points, and then got the heck out of there. But again, I think this is a spot where you see the Pistons show up. The Pacers historically not a very good first half team. They kind of make adjustments at halftime. You see them play really well in the third quarter, which is exactly what they just did to the Portland Trailblazers. And I think this is a spot where the Pistons keep this one close, maybe win the first half outright, but I think they at least are within a possession, which is 3 points. And hopefully Cade Cunningham plays, because that obviously would be a big bonus. If Cade doesn't play, you might get a better number, and I still really like that play. I think like Jaden Ivey, he shows up, Malik Beasley, those guys will play well, and they'll be able to keep this game close. Like I said, I think this is a bad spot for the Pacers, just not going full game because obviously, things can happen full game and you never want to get in there. Those are favorite picks of the day. Another prop I did look at, DeJounte Murray's over in points. I didn't do it because the injury report for the Pelicans is very, very long. And look, there are some guys on there that if they started, I would not like it as much. But I still do like DeJounte Murray tonight. I want to say his points line was 16.5. It's a tad low for DeJounte. We know how aggressive he is at scoring. But a second game back, I didn't want to force another pick in there. Looking at the other games, there wasn't really a ton of other things that stuck out. Yeah, like Sacramento, Portland, they're down DeRozan. Boston, Chicago is a game I think is closer than people think, but Kobe White is injured there, so I don't really want to get involved. Toronto, Miami, I've already sworn off Miami Heat games. And then really Clippers and Timberwolves, those are two disgusting teams. Orlando, Brooklyn, count me out. And then you got two early games, Cleveland, Atlanta, and New York versus Charlotte Hornets, who are down LaMelo Ball. So, yeah, today is not a great slate. There are a lot of double-digit spreads. I'm going to still go get in the lab and cook up a day 3 winner for the ladder challenge. So stay tuned for that. It'll be posted in a little bit, maybe soon, maybe later on this afternoon. Stay tuned. If you follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter/X, TikTok, you'll see it pop up over there once it is live. But let's have a great day. Let's go 4-0 plus the ladder. Let's cash all these picks. We'll see you guys back on Saturday with some more. See you then. Peace.